Peace be with you. Dear friends, welcome to When I Cannot Pray series 13th episode. In our lives, very often, the thing that we do not like is suffering, cross, pain. We would like to be free of all that. And that is very natural because we don't want to suffer. And when we suffer, life becomes burdensome. We always feel that heaviness, disinterested in everything that we do because we suffer. I have had experience of this for almost 5 years because of my illness. Every day morning, I would get up and feel a kind of depression, and throughout the day, no enthusiasm because my system was not working well and I was suffering and I myself did not know what was going on. I went to so many doctors to give an account of the number of doctors I met, approximately 26, 27 doctors. They were not able to diagnose what was wrong with me. And you see, when we really suffer, we can feel that within, and the whole world becomes gloomy. No matter what happens, we feel really a kind of pain and no enthusiasm in life because we suffer. Today, in this 13th episode of When I Cannot Pray series, I would like to bring prayer and cross and suffering. Because when we want to pray and when we at the same time suffer, often we feel that our prayer is not worth experiencing because the moment we go for prayer, we are in pain and we do not know what is happening within ourselves, and it is very difficult for us to have that communion and communication with God because there is that discomfort within us. And therefore today, this topic of prayer and suffering will help us in some way to come closer to God in spite of all the pain and sorrow and sufferings we endure in our daily life. I would like to dwell on this topic, first of all taking one quotation from St. Matthew's Gospel. When Jesus told his disciples, "If you want to be my follower, take up your daily cross and follow me." Matthew chapter 16, verse 24. If you want to be my follower, take up your daily cross and follow me. Now, Jesus does not say, take up others' crosses. Rather, Jesus says, take up your cross and follow me. So, taking up our daily crosses. Now, what are our daily sufferings? To categorize them, to begin with, our normal sufferings, daily sufferings are taking care of our children and commuting to our work and preparing everything that is needed to satisfy our family members and doing our daily work. Sometimes it causes us suffering because no matter how much we work, it seems there is no end. On the one hand, there are children, they are growing up, and we have to take care of them. We have to satisfy them, give them everything that they need. At the same time, I need to be responsible in the task that is entrusted with me in the workplace. So I need to be on time to my work. And then there are other concerns about what is happening at home. Maybe, paying off the loan, for example, and there are debts to be paid, and things we require at home. So, a lot of things that come to our mind, and this causes a kind of suffering to us. The second degree of suffering would be in the workplace, the tension and the hard work. 8 to 9 hours we need to work, and we get home tired. So that is a kind of suffering too, because sometimes work is very enjoyable, but it is not always very pleasant, not very comforting, because it creates a kind of exhaustion, and we feel tired, and we feel that we are in pain. And the third degree of suffering could be our illnesses, our sicknesses, discomfort and some kind of complaints, maybe of heart or kidney or liver or cholesterol or physical pain, whatever it could be, that causes us pain too. A toothache can cause us terrible pain, and constant headaches can cause us pain. And adding to that, if there are incurable diseases, that adds up to the heaviness of our cross. Incurable diseases like cancer or kidney failure or anything like that, very serious. All these can add up to the burden of our life. And going further in this journey of different types of sufferings that we endure, at times maybe our neighbors are not in good terms with us, and we feel certainly uncomfortable with them. I have heard in some neighborhoods people are so mean and disturbing, constantly hating and passing all kinds of negative remarks. This causes us deep spiritual pain. Now, dear friends, when we go for prayer, taking all these into account, we may not suffer all these things together. At times it can happen that some people really suffer all these things together. How can we really pray? How can we really communicate or connect ourselves with the divine? All these sufferings can block us in our relationship with God. Can it really block us? Can these sufferings prevent us from communicating with God? Only when we understand that God can actually bring us real comfort, when we carry all our pain to Him. This is very important for us. In spite of all our pains, crosses, sufferings, at times even persecutions, we should be able to pray, because that is the moment where we can feel deep in our hearts that kind of comfort. And I remember once visiting a parishioner when I was in a parish. That parishioner was terribly suffering due to cancer, and that person was reduced to skin and bone. He was really suffering, intense suffering. And I went to anoint him, and at one point he said to me, "Father, it is terrible what I suffer. I have even thoughts of suicide. Instead of living like this, I thought of taking all the tablets together and committing suicide." Then I asked him, What prevents you from doing that? Then he just put his hand under the pillow and showed me the crucifix. And he said, Father, whenever I have such thoughts of suicide, I just embrace this crucifix because I know he suffered for me. And this is the bit I can do for him. This is a little bit I can do for him. So he felt some way consoled or feels consoled all the time whenever he touches the holy crucifix. Now, prayer can connect us with the divine. It is something like connecting ourselves with the doctor who comes to us, who always encourages us. Doctors do not discourage us. Rather, they always put a word of comfort, word of encouragement. They always tell us, you will be all right. A few more days and a few more weeks, you will be perfectly all right. Keep hoping and take your medications. And I think our divine doctor, divine master, tells us the same thing. Whenever we carry the burden of our sufferings to him, that is what Jesus says to us in Matthew chapter 11, verse 28. Come to me, all you who are weary and heavily burdened, and take rest in me. Take upon yourself my yoke that is easy and my burden light, and I will give you rest. Learn from me, Jesus says, for I am meek and humble of heart. This meekness and humility before God, in spite of all our defeats, in spite of all our pains and sorrows and sufferings, if we can come to the feet of our blessed Savior in prayer, we will feel unburdened. We will feel comforted. Now, to continue my story that I just mentioned at the beginning of this talk, I suffered for almost 5 years. And it was last November that I went to India from Canada for my treatment. And I had decided that if I do not get well, I will stay back in India. That was my decision. And somehow, I was inspired to have this constant appeal to infant Jesus. We have that beautiful sanctuary there, Infant Jesus Shrine at Bikarnakarta, Kulshekar. And every day night, the day I reached that monastery, every day night I would go to the chapel and spend 5 to 10 minutes in the presence of Infant Jesus. There is a beautiful statue of Infant Jesus. And I would appeal to Jesus that please heal me if you want me to get back to Canada to do your work. If not, I will stay back in India. That was my decision. And as the days passed, by then I had seen almost 27 doctors. And practically in the week of Christmas, that was on 23rd December, I went to see a doctor recommended by one of our priests whom I casually met in the monastery by name Father Dsouza. And he recommended very strongly that I should see this particular doctor. And I went and saw him, and he said, you come after Christmas because this is a very busy week, and I will ask you to do a few tests. And I went on 27th December after Christmas, and he called me to give me the report on 30th December. And immediately he gave me medications because with that special test, he found out something was deeply wrong in my gut. Deep in my gut, there was a problem. And he gave me medications, and within 5 days, I felt completely okay. Of course, he had given me medications, 19 tablets per day for a month. I faithfully took those tablets. And at the end of the month, that is approximately end of January, I was perfectly okay, perfectly all right. Can I attribute this to infant Jesus or to the doctor? I feel it was infant Jesus who helped me. Come to me, all you who are weary and heavily burdened, I will give you rest. That's what I felt. When I went to Jesus, he brought me this relief. Every day, 5 to 10 minutes, every day without fail, to the feet of infant Jesus. And that brought me full health, complete health. Today I am back to Canada, dear friends, full of energy, full of enthusiasm. I would like to do more for God. From where this strength came to me, I feel it is my prayer. I don't boast about the authenticity of my prayer, but my faithfulness to prayer yielded this grace, favor from Jesus. Dear friends, what I would like to say is prayer and our daily crosses must be combined. When we combine prayer with all that we suffer and bring it to the feet of Jesus in our deep prayer, there will be relief, there will be comfort. In all the cases of suffering, Jesus may not guarantee the complete cure, but then he can guarantee that he will give you the inner strength to take on these events of suffering squarely and with courage. Let us ask the Lord during our prayer. As I told you right from the beginning, never give up prayer. Prayer is the powerhouse that can move mountains, that can help us go forward, that can give us the inner strength to face any trials, any difficulties, any sufferings, and it will give us the courage to carry our daily crosses and to follow Jesus. God bless you.